Welcome to Meet the Thriller Author, the podcast where host Alan Peterson interviews mystery and thriller writers from around the world. A thriller author himself, Alan brings listeners engaging conversations with everyone from best-selling legends like Lee Child, Walter Mosley, Frida McFadden, and Dean Koontz to exciting new voices in the thriller and mystery genre. For show notes, archives, and more, visit thrillerauthors.com, where you can also check out Alan's own thriller novels and join the Thrilling Reads newsletter. And don't forget to rate and review Meet the Thriller Author on your favorite podcast platform, especially Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And now let's dive in. The latest episode starts right now.
Before we jump into episode 227, I wanted to share something that's genuinely helped me in my own writing journey. A few years ago, I took James Patterson's masterclass, and his outlining lesson completely changed the way I structure my thrillers. I still use that method for every book I write. If you'd like to check it out, I put together a link that helps support the podcast over at thrillingreads.com/Patterson. No pressure at all. It's just a resource I personally recommend and still refer back to. Hey everybody, this is Alan with Meet the Thriller Author, and on the podcast today, I have Brian Manning, who's half of the Manning brothers duo, who write fast-paced action thrillers, including the popular John Stone series. Brian, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Alan.
So I have to ask right off the bat, you and your brother write these great thrillers. You both grew up in Las Vegas. I'm just kind of curious, when did the storytelling first become something that you shared as brothers, or was one of you got into it first? What's the story there?
Yeah, so we grew up reading comic books and like sci-fi fiction stuff. And then later on, like in our college years, we both basically raided our dad's bookshelf and started reading like his thriller stuff, like the Stephen Hunter, like Bob Lee Swagger stuff. So that was 90s, up to late 90s. And then we didn't do any kind of like ambitions for writing and stuff like that. But we played a lot of tabletop role-playing games, and I was always writing these long backstories for characters or campaigns I was running that no one ever saw. But around 2013, I started writing short stories and publishing them on Amazon. And one of them was a superhero novel. Used this novel as a way to convince Alan to join me. Like, hey, let's write superhero stuff. And he goes, let's write action movie stuff. So basically, it started, that's how the John Stone stuff started. He said, I want to write a story that's basically a Schwarzenegger movie set in today, like an 80s Schwarzenegger movie set in modern time, which was at the time 2015, 2016. So we created the John Stone series, and my idea was, hey, if we have a character that's 80s inspired, let's also do 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. So we had these 4 standalone novels that were basically our quote unquote Avengers, where we were going to tell these stories and all of them were going to meet up at this this larger book. But the John Stone stuff took off like a rocket. So we had these 3 standalone books that didn't really get as much traction as we hoped. So we were just bringing those characters into the John Stone stuff right away. And that basically got Alan hooked on the writing. But I was hooked, like I said, since I was doing the short stories and stuff, 2013. We later did do more superhero stuff, but thrillers, action thrillers is like our bread and butter.
So you were like working in the multiverse, like right away, like Marvel.
Around the time as the Avengers, we were basically, hey, if Marvel can do it, we can do the same thing, because like the Avengers had come out like 2012, so we're like, let's do that. Mm-hmm. So we were trying to tell that kind of story.
So you're fans of, you said you started reading your dad's thrillers, so you're fans of the genres before you trying to write your own.
Yeah. Like I said, we started reading sci-fi stuff like Star Wars books, and we're also role-playing game nerds, so we were reading like Shadowrun stuff. But it was those Stephen Hunter books, like the Bob Lee Swagger stuff, and then later on, it's sort of not exactly military thriller stuff, but like post-apocalyptic prepper stuff that Alan especially got into, like the DJ Mole, like the Lee Harden stuff, the remaining. And a lot of what we write comes from the 90s thrillers and the 2000s prepper fiction, even though we don't write prepper fiction. But he brought a lot of that to our stories too, like the struggle, basically.
So the thriller part without the prepper part.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Read one of your books a few years ago, and it is like you said, you guys are really into the movies. So They do, it does read like very cinematic. Is that something like, was that from the beginning, you guys, your approach
Yes,
to it?
it's
Yeah.
completely intentional. Like the our idea was we write books for people who love movies. It's not. I'm not saying these, like these 100,000 word stories are like too long or something. I'm just saying you don't always need that.
Yeah.
So we always want to write a fast paced book. Like we have our books, most of our books are around the 50,000 word range, but we have some that are getting close to like 80, 90,000. But the goal is to keep them fast paced. Like we just want to move from one thing to the next. Like Alan's real big on compressing timelines. So I'll have a story that takes place over like weeks. And he's like, can we get it down to like days? So it feels like it flows faster. And then a lot of that means we're cutting stuff out, but that's fine because we're trying to tell the story. We're trying to just get from A to Z basically. So yeah, the movie stuff, that feeling is completely intentional.
Right, too. Do you guys, because you both live in Las Vegas, right? So
Yeah.
do you like work like together or separated, or what's that process like?
We both I mean, I'm no longer in the casino gaming industry. I've been writing full time for a few years now, but like we were both in the casino gaming industry where we both started web design for casino gaming companies at the same company in like late 90s, early 2000. But then our paths split. We're same industry, casino gaming, but we've always just been with different companies ever since. But it's Vegas, so it's kind of a small industry. So we all know the same people. We all go to lunch and hang out and stuff like that. So
You have a lot of co-authors. Well, not a lot, but there's a lot of co-authoring going on, especially the last few years, especially the big names like James Patterson, of course.
yeah, yeah.
But the whole brother sibling, I have a brother too. I don't know if I could write with him. That's pretty cool.
It does help that we're twins, though. Like, I feel like
You guys
we're
really connected.
probably because it's not that we have like this weird psychic thing. It's just we were twins, so we had to share a room, had to share clothes and toys and stuff like that. So we're just together a lot growing up. So we just have the same mentality and ideas. So it
Sure.
helps. It helps
Yeah.
in that regard. So
Yeah, my brother's 8 years old, so I couldn't touch any of his stuff. 8 years old. So yeah, it's like, get
you
him
weren't
out.
allowed. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here.
So kind of curious now with your on your writing process. So how much planning goes into these books? Do you guys outline? What's your process like?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we do basically like a one pager where we have like like it's almost approached like a screenplay. Like we have the log line,
Mhm.
the characters, and like the main story. But then we have a bunch of them. Like every writer, there's just dozens. We have this folder that's just full of ideas. So we have one that we like, and we'll actually break it out into like these phases, and then basically it's like like the intro and all these game changing events that drive the story, but they're very general. And then we start outlining, and then on our outlines, the first third of the outline is pretty detailed, and then it starts to get less and less detailed, and by the end, it's just basic bullet points because I don't think we've ever completed a story where the outline at the end matched where the story took us. But it gives us direction. And
Yeah.
then we have like one part of the outline, we have a section called stuff that happens in this book. And it's all these like action scenes or like character reveal moments that we want to include in there. And then we just have this list to make sure they don't always get in there, but like we just want to make sure like a lot of that stuff makes it in the book.
If one doesn't make it to one book, but you like it a lot, does it sometimes then recycle
Yeah.
to another book? Did that happen?
There's one crazy one where he had a character hurled from a drone in a wingsuit that was in the outline for book two, and it didn't make it until book five. But
Yeah.
so it was carried on repeatedly. Like, no, we're doing it. We're doing it. It's happening.
So what about so how do you guys divide like the actual writing then? Do you both write at the same time or do you pass the manuscript document back and forth?
The way the John Stone series started was he was writing that first John Stone book, The Hard Kill, and I was tackling our 90s character, which is more of like a cop action movie. So he handled the first draft of the John Stone stuff. I handled the first draft of the character Chance Hunter, and then we swapped. And then I finished his, he finished mine. But I was doing this longer at the time, so I was a faster writer. So I would finish the John Stone one, and he hadn't been finished with the other book, so I would move on to the next in the series, and then the next one after that. And then it got to the point where I was just doing the first draft. Actually, no, we do the outline. He basically makes sure that the the flow works, and then I'll do the rough draft, and then he is essentially the developmental editor at that point, and then we're just working back and forth in that way. So the bulk of the sloppy writing, and then we just like the as a sculptor, I throw all the clay down, and then we work together, like molding it.
Yeah, getting that first draft out, basically. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I also noticed, so you actually expanded too. You have the Scott Maverick series, and you have
Yeah.
the Daniel Lee. So what was that like to expand to other characters? How did that process
The
evolve?
the Scott Maverick one is again another goofy idea Alan had. He's like, I want even though it's in a book, he's like, I want the actor who plays John Stone to play Scott Maverick, but the book is set in the 80s. So the Scott Maverick, we're calling it the trilogy, is set in the 80s, and it's just buddy cop action thriller stuff. But then later we brought Scott Maverick into the John Stone series, but he's obviously 20, 30 years older than John Stone, but they're like, it's essentially the same guy. So everyone's making a comment like, he looks like your drunk uncle. It's just so that worked out. Like we had this character that had a different series that we brought in, but the John Stone series ended after 9 books, and it was probably a mistake on our part. So we started another series, which is Daniel Lee, completely separate from the John Stone stuff, because everything we'd written thriller-wise to that point was connected in this one large universe.
Okay.
Because it's like the John Stone stuff it's like 15 books total, even though the core is 9 books. But the Daniel Lee stuff, we wanted to start from scratch. So that's smaller in scale, it's like a single character. The John Stone stuff was massive. You get like dozens of characters, and it's hard to juggle that stuff. So I just wanted to do one guy. It's inspired by Burn Notice and The Equalizer. So that's our current ongoing one. And then we're not going to end that after 9 books. We're just going to keep that one going.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're ready to ending John Stone? Is that the?
Yes, yes. It's not like John is done. It's just the story is so epic. We're like, well, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
So actually, our idea is we're going to keep doing John Stone stuff, but that was like, years later, we're like, maybe we should just keep it going. Maybe he just starts fresh, like smaller. He doesn't need his whole team with him because they saved the world already. So now he gets to beat up bad guys on his own now.
Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, kind of like a Equalizer, Denzel Washington kind of a.
Yeah. Like that was what we intended to do with Daniel Lee, but I think more people, like John Stone has such a big audience, it makes sense to continue that as well. So
Yeah, I was gonna say your Maverick covers totally jumped out to me as an '80s.
right
Yeah,
here, yeah.
yeah,
We do the vaporwave aesthetic and
yeah. I
like
kind of think
80s chrome and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, it's
because
like Miami Vice.
yeah. That was the first one was inspired by Miami Vice. We called it Miami Winter.
Oh, cool.
And because we're both artists, so it started as just an 80s book, and I didn't know what the cover was going to be like, so I just went with this full vaporwave. Let's just go full 80s grids and sunsets and palm trees, except the palm trees are AK-47s. And
Yeah,
then
no,
that carried through to the rest of the series.
yeah. I noticed that when I was doing a little research on you guys before the interview, and I saw in one of your earlier ones, the comic book type books that you
Yeah.
do penciling, and so you're both like very talented art
Oh, thank
drawers.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
like wow.
Because our background is from comic books as far as
Okay.
our art style. But we're like, I want to be a comic book artist when I grow up. And my parents were like, hey, maybe go to school for a backup thing. So we went for like graphic arts.
Okay.
So of course we didn't become comic book artists. We just did graphic arts, but we still do like that, the 2% Power Hour superhero series. I did the penciling. Alan does the inking, and then we actually hired a professional comic book colors to do the colors for those.
Oh, cool. Do you guys do your own covers then for your thrillers?
Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
nice. Make some money there
We did
too.
the Scott Maverick. This one right here, Blood Red Moon, our
Yeah.
horror series.
Uh,
That was the first like fully illustrated one I did, where I just from scratch did it like a movie poster style painting. But mostly it's graphic arts style. Like we just take existing elements, or the Scott Maverick stuff we just did from scratch, but they're all graphic style images, not illustrations.
Yeah, well, that's really cool covers. Um,
Thank you.
so, curious, now you guys been writing now for well, over 10 years now, right? As a
Yeah.
team, has that process evolved, or you guys has it worked so well that you're just not changing it, or how's that?
Uh, it evolved because, like I said at the beginning, we were both doing the rough drafts, but it evolved to where he is more of the developmental editor. Like that's a more recent thing. That's like that started with the Daniel Lee stuff,
Mm.
where I was taking on the initial role, and then just he would guide it that way because that works a lot better for us. I'm trying to get him to write more rough draft stuff because we have a lot of ideas, a lot of books. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's the rhythm that we've come into now. So,
yeah. Well, the process has worked so well for you guys. What do you have? Like, how many books do you have out so far in total?
we've got 2 dozen books out now, but we've got about 27 or 28 written. Just they're not done. They're not published yet. So,
Oh, wow. So you have a nice pipeline.
yeah, yeah. Well, the two newest books that we have published, we actually published under a pen name with another author in Australia because those are completely outside of the thriller genre. So we didn't want like
Yeah.
Amazon to cross promote, and these people are like, this is not what we signed up for. So those two, but like the second book in that series, just is for available for pre-order now. That's gonna be live next week.
Oh, okay. Was that fun to do a different genre, like take a little breather from the thrillers, or?
Uh, yes, but we've tried. I mean, we tried outside of thriller stuff. I love it, but I don't think that we are able to capture that market yet. Like I feel like you got to go all in on it. So I think this sci-fi stuff or anything outside of thriller genre stuff is always going to be more personal project stuff for us
Yeah,
because
the
we
passion stuff.
have we have like a cyberpunk story we've got written and ready to go, but I'm like I don't think it's gonna sell all that well. And then we've got like when Kindle Vella was a thing, we had a sci-fi story heavily influenced by pro wrestling because we love pro wrestling. So it was released like one chapter at a time. We have a full story done already that we want to release, but I feel like there's no market for it. So
Yeah.
it's not worth our time to clean up and re-release just yet. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know how that goes.
but it's a lot of fun writing outside of thriller stuff, but
Yeah.
thrillers, it's like that's just our thing. So,
And so, what's your process then like as like with the writing wise? So, do you like do you usually write in the same spot? Do you have set hours, word count goals? Can you tell us about that?
yeah, the way I started writing was like I was like I said, I was working a day job, the casino gaming stuff. So I would write at night after work, but that's just, after work you're just like done, spent
Yeah.
mentally. So I just started waking up earlier and writing in the morning at this desk right here. So I would spend about an hour and a half, 2 hours writing before I'd had to go to work. And that just became so like ingrained. That's where this is where I write now. I just stand at this computer and write. But Alan, he uses at one time he was using dictation, like that dragon naturally
Mhm.
speaking. So he was dictating into his phone, and he does editing on his phone, which is why he's a little slower writing full drafts. So it works a lot better that he's doing like the more developmental stuff because he doesn't have like a steady rhythm or process yet. So I say
Yeah.
yet, it's been like 6 years, 6 years since he started doing the developmental stuff. So
I'm amazed people could do it on their phones. I've tried.
yeah, yeah.
I don't have it. I
I
need a
I
desktop.
try as well. I try as well, but like I need a full keyboard.
And so you mentioned that Daniel Lee is your current the ones that you're working on now.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that
Yeah,
series?
it's basically Daniel Lee is inspired by Burn Notice and The Equalizer and like the Bourne Identity, the Bourne series. It's a character that has a past that's similar to like the an entity like Treadstone.
Mhm.
We're calling it Blackwell. He was part of this. They're kind of shady, not the best organization. So at one point, so he's not like like a hero or anything. He's got a shady past too. But at one point, something goes wrong, he's thought dead, and then when he recovers, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to use this opportunity to basically walk away." But the character is a magnet for trouble. Like he attracts it and he's drawn to it. So he's just basically wandering through and then just helping people to kind of like make up for his past sins. And then he's like burn notice, he's got to stay one step ahead of the people that burned him. Basically, that one's fun because they're smaller stories, and we're working on the sixth book in the series, which should be available like next month, or probably when this episode goes live, it should be available. Yeah, and it's again inspired by episodes of those TV shows or movies. Like the sixth book is inspired by one of our new favorite movies, The Beekeeper. So
Oh yeah, that's like Jason's.
yeah, the Jason Statham movie.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So we're carrying that vibe into this.
Daniel Lee, I know we already mentioned this. Sorry, it's completely different from Stone, though, right? That's a whole different universe. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
it's
cool.
like the Johnstone universe. We're naming actual cities and states and stuff like that. And Daniel Lee, all the towns are made up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like
Well,
I don't want to. Yeah, so the states he's in are normal, but we're just making up towns because I don't want to have to look up landmarks and have people expect certain things. But there's analogs to it, like the book 7 or 8, we don't know which one yet, will take place in Nevada. So you have to do like a casino town kind of place, like either Vegas or Reno, where you can have like crooked casino operators in it. So, but nothing like linked to the real world or to the Johnstone stuff.
I noticed on your website you guys are doing a lot of direct selling, so that's pretty incredible. How's that going? And
Difficult. Difficult. Yeah, we wanted to break away from Amazon, long ago, but we were a lot of our earlier success came from Kindle Unlimited, and then we foolishly took our foot off the gas, like 5 or 6 books into the John Stone stuff, and then we've been trying to regain that momentum. But Kindle Unlimited hasn't been bringing as much money in for us. Like it still works for a lot of other authors. So we've been pulling books out slowly, and then now basically our entire catalog is available like on our own website. So we have the freedom to like bundle books to sell, like get these discount bundles to get people in to buy the first 5 or 6 books. But you have to do a lot of advertising, and Facebook ads. It's so wild because they'll just make drastic algorithm changes, and all of a sudden your ad just stops working. Like what? So it's a lot of work. We're doing crazy, weird marketing stuff to try to get like right now. Here's John Stone. What we do, I don't know if you can notice, but this version has 2 bullet holes in the cover. We're calling it our double tapped edition.
Oh, cool.
Bullet holes in the cover and
cool.
title page, but not the rest of the book. The rest of the book is.
Oh, okay, so those are special editions only available.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
okay,
and
cool.
you actually get a bookmark with the brass that we used to shoot the cover.
Oh, that is cool.
But
you actually shot the cover?
Yeah, we take it out to the desert and shoot the book and autograph it. But we don't know how well it's going to do yet because we just this is recent. We just put this together, so we have to try weird marketing stuff like that to get attention, because it seemed to get a lot of attention on Facebook and with our friends and stuff. They thought it was a great idea.
Yeah, sounds great.
So we're hoping it works. Yeah, I mean, we haven't shot a bunch of books yet. We're going to do it as they're ordered. So,
do you guys do a lot of live events, selling in conferences and stuff?
No, we should though. Like we just missed the Vegas Book Fair thing last weekend, so we're not as up on live event stuff like we should be for selling books ourselves. So, yeah.
I'm gonna be out there next week. There's a Author Nation conferences there in Vegas, and
oh, really?
Yeah, we used to be the Horseshoe. Oh no, it is Horseshoe now. It used to be Bally's. It's in the Horseshoe.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Author Nation, was that the?
It used to be 20 books.
20 books. Yeah, 20 books Vegas. Yeah, we went to the first 2. Yeah. Craig Martell was like running that, but I guess it's a lot of work. So he handed it off to someone else.
Yeah, I think it was killing him. So he had to get rid of that. So
we went to 2017 and 2019. And those were fantastic events.
Yeah, I was at the first one too. So.
So it's 2017, right? The first one.
You must have crossed each other.
And didn't even realize it. Those are fantastic events because we leave just fired up, and we learn a lot about like blurb writing and And that's how our process for outlining came from, like breaking the story down in like these 7 distinct phases. It all came from the 20 book stuff.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's cool. Small world.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing I always ask my guests before I wrap things up here, because I have aspiring writers that listen to this, any advice, especially if somebody's thinking about doing co-authoring and with a family member, maybe?
Co-authoring. Okay. I'll start general. Obviously, you have to put reps in. It's like everything else is a skill. You have to keep writing. So not everything you do is going to be perfect. Like the earlier books are not the best in our series, but we're still proud of them. We don't want to be like George Lucas where we're like going and redoing everything, but you're just going to get better the more books you release. Also, the big thing for me is write what you read. Like if you want to write to market, but you don't read that market, there's nuances in those genres that the readers will pick up on. Or if you do your research and start writing it, you're not going to be as invested if you don't enjoy actually reading that stuff. So it'll be a lot harder to finish a book if you're not writing what you enjoy reading. So as far as writing with a sibling, you're going to have to throw away stuff that you like just to get the teamwork going. Not stuff that's great, just stuff that you like the idea, but ultimately you have to trust that the product will be better in the end, because we've stripped out full chapters. When I say we, I mean Alan has stripped out full chapters, and I'm not happy about it, but I'm not going to argue with him because I look at it and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. So ultimately I do like it. But those things that we strip out, we try to find somewhere else to put them. Hardly ever happens because they were stripped out for a reason. So, but you're gonna have to learn to live with that kind of loss. So, because I've written entire outlines that he said this is boring, so we started from scratch. I was like, oh, that's a day of work.
Rough. Okay, trust me, the developmental editors.
Yeah. So it's gonna be give and take. So unless you're somehow the leader of the team and can exert your weight more, but then why are you collaborating at that point? So why not just hire people at that point?
Yeah, it's like taking your car to a mechanic and then arguing with a mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah.
So before we wrap up here, where can people find you online and follow your work?
Yeah, so you can buy our books at shopmanningbrothers.com. That's where we've got all our books for sale, except for like this new co-author series, because that's Amazon exclusive now. But we're thriller authors mainly, so you're going to find all our thrillers on shopmanningbrothers.com. Or since our umbrella company that Alan and I write under is Tag Team Champs, you can find us at the Tag Team Champs on Instagram and Threads as well. So that's where we post a lot. So.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, and I'll have links to that, of course, on the show notes for listeners. So, yeah. All right. Well, Brian, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's real great talking to you.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for listening to Meet the Thriller Author, hosted by Alan Peterson. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. It helps other thriller fans discover the show. You can find all past episodes, show notes, and author interviews at thrillerauthors.com, including conversations with icons like Dean Koontz, Frida McFadden, and Lee Child. And if you're looking for your next gripping read, check out Alan's own psychological thrillers and crime fiction novels at thrillingreads.com/books. Until next time, stay safe, keep reading, and keep the thrills coming.